Hey all, John aka Whisky and Sound. So forgive me for a couple of things. One, I am running a lot later than I anticipated. So I was supposed to be on by about the 7 o'clock mark, then pushed it out to 8 o'clock. It is now 8:20. And secondly, I said that I was going to be running live. Turns out that I cannot run live for the next 24 hours on YouTube because I was supposed to do a YouTube live stream. So that's not going to work instead. I am going to be pre-recording this, and then just uploading it straight away. So then that way you all know, and I'll share it around to everyone. So then that way you all get to know who won the competition at the end. So for those of you that are just jumping on for the first time, like, share, subscribe to Whisky and Sound. That's on the YouTube channel, Instagram, and Facebook. So I'm going to cut to the chase now and get into this Boilermaker. And once again, surprise, surprise, another bottle that I've been waiting to open up. I've got all these, I mean, not that I want to brag about my collection so far, you probably can't see the bulk of them, but there's about 300 bottles floating around in that collection there somewhere. Now, I know of other people that if they want to have a, how can I put this politely? No, I'm just going to say it straight out. If you want to have a dick measuring competition, I'm probably on the smaller end of the scale purely based on numbers of bottles. And there are guys that are well endowed into the over the 1,000 mark of bottles. So I'm not here to compare, who's got the biggest collection, that's for sure. But in my personal collection, I've got over 300. And there's quite a few bottles that I want to open there. But in that small bar, which has all my open bottles, there's about 40 that are open in there. So I'm not in a hurry to open new bottles. But I still sit there and look at them and go, I really want to crack that one open. And that's what I'm going to be doing on this occasion right here. So, GlenAllachie is a Speyside beauty. And more importantly is this particular bottling, which was a 14-year-old PX Hogshead selected purely for Whisky and Alement. So that was a single cask release that they done, which yielded 334 bottles. It is bottled at cask strength at 58.7%. It is a beast. I've had this before, and it has been a while since I've had this last. So I need to get reacquainted with this. And I am very positive that at the tasting that we experienced this dram at, where I can't remember if it was the official launch of it or not. Or actually, no, it was the first time that it was officially poured out for people to try, and that was courtesy of John Ruff at the Whisky and Alement Melbourne Whisky Room. So, that new cork sound, new cork pop, love it, love it, love it. But what I do love on this is the colour. It is just, it spells scrumptious, just at the sheer sight of it. It is rich. It is knocking on a, I would call that just a very bronze colour, really. That's a very, it's a fiery bronze, actually, the more I look at it. Right. Now, unfortunately, this is a freshly opened bottle, so it is one that is going to need a little bit of time. Being a PX Hogshead as well, I should expect big, jammy fruits. And probably along the lines of Christmas cake as well, which is what if my memory serves me right, that's what I should be experiencing. Whew, and that is exactly what I'm getting. I'm getting all of the Christmas cake. So that is heaps of raisins, heaps of ginger spice. Running out of breath again. Oh yeah, heaps of oak influence, that's for sure. She's a bit of a beast. Definitely a bit of a beast. If you look at the legs on that thing, yeah, they're not even moving. That's awesome. All right, so this is one that I know for a fact evolves over time. So I'm just going to slowly sip it, and I'm going to enjoy it whilst I'm deciphering what beer I'm going to go with. I've pretty much got an idea as to what direction I'm going to go in. I am looking at, without even touching the palate, is I want to just make like a massive Christmas cake Boilermaker. So something that's going to be rich and just power packed with, dark chocolates, real jammy fruits, some coffee. I just want that to be big and amplified. So that's going to be my goal for this Boilermaker. I just want massive, so it's all about the complementing. That's my goal with this Boilermaker. Right, okay, and on that note, I'm going to have a sip now. Hmm. Yeah, that's massive on the palate. That just goes. It definitely wakes up. Definitely wakes up the front end. Oh, that's got like a real oaky. That's a massive oak finish. The fruits really come out right on the tail end, but at the front end, there's just a massive hit of uh, actually, I can get real acquainted with it again. Hmm. It's actually got quite a dry. Yeah, it's drying across the front and mid palate, and I think that's purely because one, it needs a bit of airtime, needs to open up. Doesn't act like it's 58.7, which is the scary part. Um, but yeah, this is heaps of dried fruit and lots of oak. So I won't say like it's overbearingly tannicky. Um, it isn't, but it's definitely one that I know opens up over time, and can also even pour like a smidge of water as well. It might be able to open up even more again because it's got that ABV that carries it. So on that note, what am I going to do? I'm going to pull out another one of these dessert in a can from Amundsen. And the one that I'm thinking of, because I've got a few here, so the one that I'm thinking of is a barrel aged upside down Christmas cake 2020. It is a pastry Christmas stout. So Amundsen, a massive. they're a Norwegian distillery. I just had a brain fart for a split second. Anyway, getting back to the real story at hand, it's 11.5%, so it is not a lightweight at all. Most of their beers are pretty ballsy and decadent at the same time, but these dessert in a cans, which this apparently isn't a dessert in a can, but it runs in along that similar theme. They are the makers of dessert in a can, and I'm pretty sure this is still going to be dessert. So let us go to our old Johnny Tulip glass. All right, pour that black gold. I love it. That is so rich. Oh, you can smell the blueberries from here. My goodness. These guys do so well. So well. And then you go right up close to it and there's just chocolate and coffee and jammy fruits, as I was talking about before. So I'm picking like a Black Forest cake. That's what I get on the nose on this thing. Ooh, and on the palate is even better again. Wow. All right. I think that is going to work really well with that whiskey. And yeah, a big thick stout, like just something jammy and rich, or even just decadent. Like if it's chocolate themed, if it's coffee themed, um, anything like with rich fruits in it, which is a theme of the stout. If it's imperial, even better. Something that is paired back to a PX or an Oloroso sherry cask, it just works so well. It's a hand in hand marriage there. So this now has had a little bit of airtime, and now the fruits are really starting to open up already. So, and if anything, it is a little bit cooler in this room, so I'm probably going to accelerate the process a bit, just warm her up, and then see what she does. And I'm going to assume that it's going to do a lot more after a bit of warming. So it's already about 20 seconds in. So we'll give it a little bit more. This is a little trick that we do to speed up the process and really get some aromas happening. Yeah, now those fruits have really come to life. Yeah, definitely big jammy fruits. So that's yeah, loads of strawberry, loads of cherries in there, ripe cherries. Gingerbread's in there, definitely gingerbread in there. It's like dark cocoa. Oh, and there's this other note that I can't put my finger on. I can't. I don't know what it is, but it's a familiar nose note. I know it, but it's just not coming to mind. It's just like I'm dropping the ball at the moment, and it's like, Eesh, what are you? Get back here. But it's yeah, it's doing fun stuff, and the fact that it's also in this glass too, because when I knows that it was in one of these glasses at Whisky and Alement, because I tend to use these there as well, and we've got two different glass profiles here, so I'm going to get different nuances out of this particular glass. So I remember how we had this discussion last week as well with how with Highwayman 10 when I poured it into this glass, and the initial time that I had it was also out of this glass at Whisky and Alement. Not to say that these glasses are bad, because I use these a lot and I often reference off these. So it is just that anything big and massive and just huge on opening up, whether it be like a massive cask strength whiskey or just just a big cask type. It's one that I would like to start exploring more in these bigger glasses. So whether it be Denver and Liley or one of these H glasses or of the like. So I find that these give a little bit more of a story to tell with the dram as it evolves over time. So whether it helps react quicker with air and still manages to channel it or funnel it to the nose, pardon me, of just a massive birthday dinner. So hence the reason why I was late. I had so much to bloody eat. I'm still quite full from it. So yeah. Anyway, back to the Boilermaker. These glasses will funnel the nosing notes as they evolve over time. That's what I find with this particular glass anyway, which is why I'm growing more and more you know, accustomed to it. So, not to say that I'll drink every whiskey out of this particular glass. It's horses for courses. And it's also the same with beer too, which, truth be told, I'm not actually getting as you like. I'm not evolving to that quickly. I am taking my time with it because I'll either do my beers out of either one of these or one of these. Just starting now to get used to using one of these. But there are so many beer variances. Beer glass variances. Also discover that glasses like this as well for beer. Now I tend to use this mainly just to fit the bloody thing in. But as whiskey enthusiasts, there are also beer enthusiasts that can pick apart, certain smells and nosing notes out of beer like we do with whiskey as well. So that, admittedly, I'm getting used to that now. So part of the journey with boiler making. All right, now let's revisit this, shall we? Yeah, that's turning more perfumed now. There's like this cherry ripe, coming out of this now. Cherry ripe served on a really danky chopping board. That's probably one of the best ways that I could describe it right now. It is rich. But yeah, there's coconut notes that are starting to come through as well as that cherry, and the dark cocoa, but that tannic influence is coming through, or the wood influence is coming through. All right, so let's try whiskey wash beer rinse and see how we go with that. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Now, and there's that finish. Oh, big fruits. Big fruits coming through. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Loads of cherries. Loads of strawberries. Raisins. There's some cinnamon, toasted coconut. Yeah, and that wood influence, that's perfect. Oh, that's a gorgeous finish. And big. That is big. All right. So I'm going to sit that again because I was too busy enjoying the bloody finish on it. Like I said, this is going to be one that I'm going to sit over time and it's just going to open right up. So we'll do this whiskey wash. Do this whiskey wash again, and we'll go with the beer rinse afterwards. And I think the wife just got home now. Whoa, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted it to do. So on the beer rinse, mass chocolate, mass fruits, and that just amplified whatever was in that whiskey glass. That was essentially what I was after. So will it do the same on the other end if we go to switch it around and we turn it beer wash, whiskey rinse? We're going to find out in a second. I'm just going to rinse my palate, get some water in because, big ABV. So we are looking at 58.7 and 11.5. So they're not lightweights, that's for sure. All right. So, tables turned. We're going to go beer wash and then whiskey rinse. So, all right. Now let's rinse it down with our wee dram. Still nice, But I think I found it more effective. Whiskey wash, beer rinse. That was the hit that I was after. So gave it that finish where it was just rich, thick, decadent. It was jammy, it was fruity, it was chocolatey, it was everything that I wanted. And I honestly think that the beer wash shortchanged the finish on the whiskey rinse afterwards. Almost acted like it was maybe a cancel out factor in it. But anyway, not to worry. So definitely my pick would be the whiskey wash and the beer rinse. So what you got, the boys in front there. Okay, so that is definitely the way that I'd go about that particular Boilermaker. And it was lovely. So, right, now the moment that you've pretty much all been waiting for, and I know you have been, is the Highwayman giveaway. So, just a recap as to what I'm going to be giving people after tonight, or tonight. Highwayman batch 1 through to 10, which is behind me, all across there. And that is the open bottle of batch 10. You'll be getting a 50ml sample of all 11 bottlings. So that includes the global blend that Dan Woolley made. So one lucky person is going to be receiving that. Now I have gone through all the lists of people that have liked and subscribed to the channel. And my wife is coming in with the 40th birthday balloons. For those that didn't know, I turned 40 today. And as I said, I was going to be turning 40, not 4. Close enough. Yeah. All right.
Don't worry about me. Keep doing what you're doing.
It's a bit hard when you're bright and blue, bub. All right. And that's all right. It's not live. It's a pre-recording, so. Yep, you can still see them. All right. Anyway, so I've compiled the list onto a random name generator. So I'm going to run that in the next couple of seconds, and then we're going to pick out the name. Right, let us switch screens for a split sec, so don't mind me. Okay, I should have had this up on screen earlier, but it turns out that I didn't.
That's okay, they're looking at the balloons.
Yeah, of course they're looking at the balloons. Right, now we are ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go. Random name generator, do your thing. Right. Tristan Farmer. Congratulations, dude. You have just won all 11 samples of Highwayman whiskey. So, big round of applause to you, my man. Good stuff. And I'll be keen to get your thoughts on all those rams at some stage. So, or you can do a little review, on your Facebook or whatever. So, but either way, I'll be keen to see your feedback on those drams. All I can say is enjoy. So, there's going to be a lot of upset folk that weren't able to win that pack. But now that I've got some bottles open, or now that I'm going to have these bottles open, whether we want to do a sample swap or whatever, I'm all for the suggestions. Or if you want to come past and try them yourself whilst I still have juice in the bottles, we can talk now, because any of the bottlings from 1 through to 10 I have open now. So if there's any that tickle your fancy, then yeah. If you want all 10 of them though, something else is going to have to be worked out. But anyway, look, I'm glad that you's all stuck around and were able to wait for me to do this this feed. Unfortunately, it wasn't live. I didn't realize that apparently YouTube wanted me to suss out something 24 hours prior to me being able to do a live feed. So I know that now. So from now on, if I do want to go live on YouTube, I can instantly. So anyway, thank you very much for tonight, and I hope you enjoy the Boilermaker pairing. And yeah, happy birthday to me as well. Have a good one, guys and girls.